Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Shadow City Podcast. I am your host, Larry, and this is The Shadows Within. Got a few things to go over, some shows. Hope everybody's having a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. For IZW Thunder, Almighty Ace versus Dragonheart, with Almighty Ace walking away victorious. Falls Count Anywhere, Lady Blue versus the Amazon versus Dirty Diana, with Lady Blue walking away victorious. Tornado Tag, Cooper Riley and Carter Riley versus Larry the Butcher and Devin Deuce, with Larry the Butcher and Devin Deuce walking away victorious. Jen versus Nina, with Jen walking away victorious. IZW International Championship 2 Falls, Big Oos, the champion, versus Nexus, with Big Oos retaining the gold. Extreme Times 2, Travell Daniel versus Rob Anderson, with Rob Anderson walking away victorious. Tornado Tag, Kando Dragon and Kabuki Dragon versus the Royal Geniuses, KD and Combat Genius, with the Royal Geniuses walking away victorious. No Escape Cage, Insidious versus Tony Rose, with Tony Rose walking away victorious. Falls Count Anywhere, Akane versus Jack Jackson, with Jack Jackson walking away victorious. IZW Beatdown, Falls Count Anywhere, Damian Graves versus the Phantom Eddie Walker, with Damian Graves walking away victorious. Royal Geniuses, Katie and Combat Genius versus the Red Wolves, Big Lou and John Robb, with the Royal Geniuses walking away victorious. Sonya Ortiz versus Lady Blue, with Sonya Ortiz walking away victorious. AJ Woods versus Buster Anderson versus Big C, with AJ Woods walking away victorious. Sylvia Knight versus Jen versus Taryn Williams versus Riley versus Christina Palmer for the Bloodlust Championship, where Sylvia Knight walked in the champion, but Christina Palmer walked out the champion. Justice versus the American Badass John Wigginton, with Justice walking away victorious. IZW KO Championship Rusty Steele versus the champion Frank Ortiz, with Frank Ortiz retaining. In an 8-man match, CJ Frost won. Alex King versus Jaquil versus Ultimo versus the Ghost J Jin in the main event, with Ultimo walking away victorious. Sorry. Yeah. All-Star Pro Pal Driver Japan Tour. J Red versus Jaquil, with Jaquil walking away victorious. Rockstar Glow versus Kira, with Kira walking away victorious. KD versus James Brooks, with KD walking away victorious. Akane versus Frank Ortiz, with Akane walking away victorious. Perry Hale versus Turtle Harrington, with Turtle Harrington walking away victorious. Madison Outlaw versus Miss D, with Madison Outlaw walking away victorious. Sean Smith versus AJ Albright, with AJ Albright walking away victorious. World Tag Team Championships, the House of Fury, also known, represented by the Goldmans, took on the Empire of Pain for the championships, with Empire of Pain retaining the gold. Buster Anderson versus Damian Briggs, with Damian Briggs walking away victorious. All-Star Pro Apex Tournament Havoc Japan Tour. Amaya Bryant versus RFL, with Amaya Bryant advancing to the second round. Whitney Winters versus Baby Bone Crusher, with Baby Bone Crusher advancing to the second round. Victoria Ritchie versus Selena Blaze, with Selena Blaze advancing to the second round. Christine St. James versus Dirty Diana, with Christine St. James advancing to the second round. Amaya Bryant versus Baby Bone Crusher, with Baby Bone Crusher headed to the finals. Selena Blaze versus Christine St. James, with Selena Blaze advancing to the finals. Baby Bone Crusher versus Selena Blaze, with Baby Bone Crusher winning the tournament. All-Star Pro Season 4 Episode 6 Pal Driver Japan Tour. Lonza Kazarian versus Derek Sicario, with Derek Sicario walking away victorious. Suplexia versus Sonya Ortiz, with Sonya Ortiz walking away victorious. Adam Matthews versus Alex Knight, with Alex Knight walking away victorious. Juan Sanchez versus Jay Monster, with Juan Sanchez walking away victorious. Jake King versus Rob Anderson, with Rob Anderson walking away victorious. Lil Devil versus Don Wildside, with Lil Devil walking away victorious. Bailey Nelson versus Reagan Anderson, with Reagan Anderson walking away victorious. International Championship Jesse Harper versus the champion Cold Steel, with Cold Steel retaining the gold. Shinjo Prime versus Damian Briggs, with Damian Briggs walking away victorious. Now I'm going to go over the last show I have written down for ASW. I'll also go check out the recent ASW video and the recent IWA show. Triple Threat 2 out of 3, Kazuma Kong versus Big Swole versus Psycho. It's Psycho walking away victorious. 2 out of 3, No Weapons, Baby Bone Crusher versus Josie Marie Jane, with Baby Bone Crusher walking away victorious. ASW Rules, Dimebag Dan versus Lawrence Caldwell, with Dimebag Dan walking away victorious. 2 out of 3, No Weapons, The Dream versus Shane Stacks, with The Dream walking away victorious. Triple Threat 2 out of 3, Michael Russell versus Lil Devil versus King, with Lil Devil walking away victorious. Fatal 4-Way, Mina Shamrock versus Violet Death versus the First Lady versus Victoria Ritchie, with the First Lady walking away victorious. ASW Rules, Marcus Watts versus Big Dan, with Big Dan walking away victorious. ASW Rules, Leo and Kang versus One Rich and Mr. Bones, with One Rich and Mr. Bones walking away victorious. ASW Rules, Seven Winters versus John Wigginton, with Seven Winters walking away victorious. And in the main event, Big Lou versus Marcus Banks. Marcus Banks walking away victorious. And that was the show for ASW. Now, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I had to go over at the moment. Stay tuned for more. I do hope everybody has a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. Peace out.